Available at audible.com. Severed Press presents Drop Off, written by Edward J. McFadden III, narrated by Edison McDaniels. Two mutant sea spiders appeared out of the darkness, and the one in the sample cage hummed and squeaked, sending vibrations through the water. Bubbles streamed by the portholes, and the sub popped like it was splitting open. "You seeing this?" Sunwa said. She pointed at the local sonar image that filled her screen. Dark blue smudges were coming together around the sub like pixels forming a picture. "Exterior spotlights off," Hunt said. The cloud of light that surrounded the sub dimmed, but the blue smudges kept advancing. The spider in the basket stopped struggling. It stared into the camera, eyes swaying on their stalks. "Is that thing looking at us?" Sunwa said. Attracted to light, probably sees its reflection in the lens. "Its eyes are probably very sensitive." "Engaging propeller," Hunt said. The electric engine moaned, and the submersible glided through the dark abyss. Nothing visible but the two adventurous sea spiders and small specks of silt and vegetation that floated in the clear water and shined like tiny stars under the harsh LEDs. Darkness pressed in on the sub, and Hunt's lower back ached from sitting too long. "Elapsed mission time is 1 hour 23 minutes. Power at 51%, Sunwa said. The ring of blue surrounding the sub on sonar was now several rows deep. The toggle switch for the ballast tanks was on a control bar beneath Hunt's main display screen. There were 4 manual relays there that didn't require power. A switch to release compressed air into the ballast, one to flood the tanks, another to pop the hatch, and a fourth to open the vents. Hunt flipped the ballast toggle, and there was a loud pop as air was forced into the tanks, partially evacuating them of seawater. White water and massive bubbles slid by in the blackness, and the sound reverberated through the sea. The Starfish 3 started to rise, sluggishly at first as the craft struggled against the current, then faster as it escaped in a cloud of bubbles and started the 2,600-foot ascent to the surface. The local sonar cleared, and Sunwa breathed a sigh of relief. A scratching and scraping echoed through the sub as the creature in the sample basket clawed and tore at the bottom of the sub. The beast was stirred up again, and the bottom camera showed the creature frantically ripping at the cage, trying to free itself. "That thing gives me the creeps," Hunt said. "You can say that again," Sunwa said. "That thing gives—" "Knock it off. How do you get dates with such weak game?" "Worked on you, didn't it?" She harumphed. "Not much to choose from out here in the middle of nowhere." "Yeah, you're the catch of the day," he said, smiling. She didn't take it as a joke. "Unlike you, I don't sleep around with tourists like a hooker." "Male escort to you," he said. That got one corner of her mouth to curl. More scratching, and Hunt and Sunwa looked at the deck. Hunt's mind spun back to the gouge his Big Mama made on the rear deck of the submersible. He joked about scratching through metal, but a mile down in the darkness, he didn't think his comment was funny anymore. 2,000 feet and climbing, Sunwa said. Bubbles snapped and popped, seawater sloshed and cracked, and the air rushing through the life support vents filled the silence. Sonar pinged, and Hunt's head snapped up, his fingers slashing at his monitor. "Local sonar's picking up something bigger." "Mom?" Sunwa said. Hunt hiked his shoulders. The sonar pings were coming faster, and he shut the audio off. The Starfish 3 lurched, and a hollow gong rang through the cabin. "We're slowing," Sunwa said. "Exterior cameras showing nothing," Hunt said. He resized windows, adjusted camera angles and zoom, but there was nothing to see except the spider in its cage and darkness beyond. A scuttling sound filled the ship as something climbed over the hull. "There!" Sunwa shrieked, her hands dancing over her keyboard. The large sea spider was back. It sat on the rear deck of the sub before the tail fin, staring up at the aft view camera mounted to the conning tower. "What's it doing?" Sunwa said. "Taking a ride," Hunt said. The oily darkness slid by the portholes as the sub rose. The vessel creaked and vibrated, and Hunt took a deep breath. He hadn't had any food since breakfast, and his stomach twisted and gurgled. "I'll be happy when we're out of this thing," Hunt said. "Afraid of a few little spiders," she said. "You call that little? The thing—" It was then they realized that Mama Spider was gone. "Where the hell is it?" Sanwa said as she adjusted the exterior cameras. Available at audible.com.